Hi, everybody in the Dental Nachos world. This is Brandon Hill, aka Nacho Man, from Dental Nachos, from the Dental Nachos team. Always happy to share with you guys, especially on one of my favorite days of the year, or at least when I was young, this was my favorite day of the year, the day before Thanksgiving. For all of you people who are not too far removed from college, you know that this was always a great, exciting day to come home the day before Thanksgiving and have a lot of fun. So we're going to have fun in a different way. We always love sharing good ideas. We always love sharing what a lot of the resources and key sponsors we have in our group are doing for us. And we've got some really good ideas coming from a great key resource of our group and a great contributor in general of our group. That is Scott Drucker. Scott Drucker is here. Hi, Scott. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Brandon. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm honored to spend this day before Thanksgiving with you.
Excellent, excellent. We're glad to have you. You've been a great contributor to Dental Nachos Group in many ways. One, as a dentist and giving your advice and guidance to some of the dentists in the group, but also as a person who has an awesome business that has been a great resource of Dental Nachos. So just talk to us, just in your own words, a little bit just about your experiences with Dental Nachos and your background.
Yeah, I first learned about you guys maybe a year and a half or so, maybe 2 years ago. Saw a lot of the Facebook activity, loved it, learned a bit more about the mission, kind of the building that dental community to help each other out, in particular where, in areas that are kind of lacking in dental school. And I think it's an awesome mission you guys have and a great community you built. So it's really an honor to be working with you and Paul and Ariel and the rest of the team. A little bit, I suppose about Supply Clinic, and yeah, we're super happy to be working with you. Got a lot of exciting things going on. We can jump into that a little bit later in the conversation.
Yep.
Yeah, in brief, Supply Clinic, for those that don't know, is an online marketplace for dental supplies. So we've essentially created a sleek shopping experience that brings pricing transparency to the dental supply space. So where it might take a lot of effort and legwork to shop around and see who sells what at what price. We basically make it super easy. You go on the site, you pull up a product page, you see which of our sellers host that item. You can add it to your cart from any of the sellers. Presumably, it'll be the lowest cost, and then check out in a single checkout, even if you've got any number of sellers in your cart. And it's a single payment processed. Just made to really kind of address some of the pain points that I found while shopping for dental supplies about 5-6 years ago,
Right.
and just make a better experience for dental professionals overall.
Well, Scott, you said a couple magic words that I like. You said sleek, you said transparent. So that sounds to me, sleek meaning, seamless and easy, right?
Sure.
Easy is always good. Easy saves time as well as stress. And we're all about decreasing stress here at Dental Nachos, especially in the the year we've had in America and the world beyond in 2020. But sleek and transparent. So really getting to see what something could and should be priced at is always great when you're doing any kind of shopping. And that's kind of like the theme of today's interview here, is just talking about how to get a grip on your shopping. And I'm glad to see that you, as a dentist who dealt with the pain and stress of the shopping, the time it takes, the wondering if you're getting the best deals. Do I shop around 3 places, 4 places, 5 places before I make a decision? It's nice to see that you were able to do something to help your dental colleagues in this space and do that with Supply Clinic. So how did you first get started? I mean, was it pretty easy to put Supply Clinic together?
Oh, it was just a couple days of work and all was set and running beautifully. No, it's been a tremendous process that's taken multiple times longer at every step of the process than we would have anticipated or hoped. And maybe that was some youthful naivete back a few years ago. But basically, I was transitioning from dental school to my perio residency, and I had to buy a whole bunch of supplies that were surgically oriented, so surgical instruments and burrs and hand pieces and that sort of thing. And I knew nothing about the world of supply purchase from dental school or from prior. And so I talked to a couple of the faculty at Penn. I went to dental school over by you guys in Philly,
Right.
and basically they pointed me to reps of some of the big box distributors, and I said, great, got in touch with the reps. They were more than happy to help out and gave me, the quote unquote discount pricing. And I did what I just assumed everybody else did, which was go online and shop around for the products.
Right.
Turns out that was by and large not the case in the industry 6 years ago. It is much more so today. But I mean, some of the early conversations were, well, I'll get there in just a second. So I shopped around. I found there were multiple other places that were authorized sellers to sell those specific products I was looking for. So I ended up just shopping on my own to meet my own needs at pricing that was lower than a quote unquote discount from bigger players. So kind of intrigued by the situation. Did some research in the market. I tapped my brother into the picture, who is not a dentist. He at the time I was in my residency, he was getting his master's in statistics. So very bright guy, super data oriented, which has done us well over the past several years. But we did a whole bunch of research and found, the dental space is kind of stuck in the way that the rest of the commerce industry was stuck. I'd say pre-internet. Basically, everybody, the traditional model is the boots on the ground sales rep that calls on the office and is that very, very high touch but expensive model. And that's great for some. And there are others that, don't necessarily need all the handholding and would rather just buy at lower cost. And so we went to attack the problem and build a marketplace platform and a typical intuitive e-shopping, online shopping experience. And it was talk about challenges scaling a startup. I know lots of dentists are going through the challenge of opening up their practice or transitioning, acquiring someone's practice and ramping it up. The pain and the challenge is real. I mean, there's a massive learning curve you go through, and I mean, we were super scrappy. To the point that I think it was between my first and second year of residency, and we knew we needed a full-time developer as essentially our first full-time hire. And I was in the evenings as a Perio resident going to Ruby on Rails meetups. This specific type of web developer meetup, and it's the same thing as if a web developer went to like a endo happy hour.
Right. Total new language, total new world, right?
Yeah, very out of water. But I went with a guy that was helping us at the time. He was a classmate of my brother's, maybe he was a year ahead. And had some time between when he left school and started his job. And so part of what he was doing that summer was helping us find a full-time hire. And so he would go to these meetings with me, and we ended up going to Tech Week Chicago. So there are these big tech conferences, obviously not now in 2020, but big tech conferences in every city. And they in Chicago, it's in the merchandise mart, massive building, take out huge floor space. It's a small section is this huge job fair, and we were walking around trying to strategize, and we found an empty table in the job fair section, and there are lots of young developers that go and kind of check out the scene, and we squatted. We squatted at the table and just started chatting up individuals like, hey, we're a supply clinic, super early stage dental supply company, online marketplace, blah blah blah. And we collected probably like 50 resumes from just standing there, no swag. We're super early stage. We don't even have the swag yet. There's nothing here. And we collected all those resumes, interviewed about five or so individuals. And one of them stuck, and he's with us today. He's our VP of engineering and has been amazing. But that was the start of.
That's great. I mean, the cool thing is, and listening to that story, it's funny because it sounds like it was tumultuously difficult, but it is also funny because, a lot of the dentists in this group, that are practice owners, they go through a lot of tumultuous experiences trying to get their practices up and running. And, maybe it makes them feel a little good to know that there's some tougher things out there. We always talk about in this group, and rightfully so, how hard it is to run a dental practice, especially being that you don't get a lot of business training in dental school to help you. But this is a totally different world. And for you to get into the tech world like this and all about your mission of helping your fellow colleagues and dentists, I applaud you for sticking to that. Now, you mentioned marketplace.
Yep.
What exactly is the marketplace? How does that work? I mean, tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, that's a great question. Those that term can kind of be ambiguous or unclear to some, and the way so folks ask us all the time, oh, so you're a dental supply seller, so you're a distributor, et cetera, and we're actually not. We are, as a company, are an online platform, so we host lots of different sellers of dental supplies. We never hold on to the supplies at all, so everything should be shipped direct from seller to the customer, to the dental practice. We joke, if something ends up at the supply clinic headquarter office, that's because a seller messed up and accidentally sent it to us.
Right.
We don't touch anything. Basically, what we do, the way that I see ourselves as positioned as a true value add partner of a dental office team on the supply side. So
Gotcha.
we organize and make clear all of the different options for any given item as you're shopping through. You can process a checkout with a shopping cart from multiple different sellers, and in the back end, each of those sub orders, as we call them, gets immediately sent to the respective seller, and they drop ship directly. So
Okay.
as a marketplace, we host any authorized seller of supplies. Um, and I'll touch on that just a little bit, because
Sure.
I know the internet and in terms, I mean, I think everybody's accustomed to shopping online now. Back in the early '90s, it was like, is this safe putting my credit card information
Exactly.
process an order
Exactly.
online? And we've come a long way through, a long way since then. And now the thought process for a lot of practices is: are these supplies safe? Are they sold through authorized channels? Is there potential? Is it possible that they're gray market products? And so we tackle all of this super head on. We have a very strict verification process for all of our distributors. If it's the manufacturer that's selling direct, of course, they're making the product, they can sell their product. But
Right.
if it's a distributor, we verify that it's sold properly, through channel backup from the manufacturer. So
Very, very, very important that you go through those channels because, like you said, even though online shopping is pretty normal to people, we have to. It's not always safe, and a lot of times when people are looking at doing something new or finding a different platform to do something that they've done before, there may be some apprehension as to trying out something, even if it's a great idea, even if it'll save them money, even if it'll save them time, even if it's what we like to call in the dental nachos world a nacho brainer. There's always that underlying question of, is this safe? So thanks for
right.
explaining that, and I'm really
Yeah,
glad that you go through those channels to make sure that
absolutely.
it's legitimate and safe.
And
Go
I
ahead.
can just to add a tiny bit more color on this. Uh, the I guess the issue surrounding the security of supply chain is, where I see it as the biggest deal is products that are specifically ship and temperature sensitive. So the whole issue with kind of this gray market or ambiguous supply chain is that you don't know the channels through which product was sold, and it may have been intended
Hmm.
for another market, and then ended up shipped back to the states through, then trucked over in trucks that are not temperature controlled. And
Right.
for some products, it frankly doesn't matter. For your gauze, for your display, the stuff that ends up in the trash at the end of the appointment, not the hugest deal. But where it may where there's particular sensitivity is around stuff like composites, bonding agents, impression material that can actually damage if not treated
Right.
appropriately. So we go through a very lengthy and rigorous verification process.
Excellent. So that's all good. That's all good news, and we're glad to hear that. But the obvious elephant in every room this year is always the pandemic, and how has COVID affected you? How has it affected supply chain? How has it affected PPE? How has COVID affected you, and what has Supply Clinic been doing about that?
Yeah, it's created stresses that I think are completely new to e-commerce in general, to supply chain in general, and I can kind of touch on those. We had a very interesting experience through this pandemic, and it actually, for us, it started back in late January. We
Okay.
started seeing all these bizarre orders come in for masks from overseas, from East Asia,
Mm.
from Hong Kong specifically, and many of them had to be canceled out, and that caused a lot of a lot of frustration. And then we got reviews on social media from folks in Hong Kong, like, "Hey, my order was canceled, blah blah blah." And we're like, this is so
Wow.
not the target market. We're focused on our customers in the U.S. We're taking care of our dentists. But yeah, we were that. I mean, that was the first kind of like red flag for us that something's coming. And then, move into mid March, most of the country went into kind of shut down at home order, and in the beginning of that, dental offices were by and large included. And so for us, it was that was a stressful time, because for maybe 2.5 months, the vast majority of our core customers were closed. And
Right.
so we were not, that there was nothing for us to do on that front. There's no, you can't sell supplies to an office that's not seeing patients. That makes no sense. So we pivoted a little bit temporarily during the early part of the pandemic, and we focused on getting some PPE over to hospital systems throughout the country when it was super, super difficult. And so we were getting at first the KN95 masks over, and as N95 started to open up, getting some of those over, gowns, goggles, face shields, etc. The hospital market was, obviously the place that needed it most, and
Right.
our industry was quiet. And so that was a massive crash course in supply chain and logistics for us. So little interesting kind of tidbit there. Yeah, we were working with brokers that had, these manufacturer connections, and we were essentially help facilitating the sale and getting that PPE over to hospital systems. And um, I I mean, we we were put through the ringer on every step of supply chain. So
Wow.
logistics carriers were messing up right and left. FedEx and UPS were horrible things. Where the last tracking information was input in China and then disappeared through the freight forwarder didn't input information, or they would get stateside, get held up in customs clearance, et cetera, et cetera. Every step of the way, there were issues, and we had as needy as our beloved dental office customers can be, this was a whole different ballgame, because
I can imagine.
these are hospital customers that, we would tell them, lead time is 21 days from the time of order process, and on day two, their chief procurement officer would be sending me an email, "Hey, what's the updated status?" Day
Right.
three, what's the updated status? We really need this. Like, we have a whole building of frontline workers. Day four, day five, every day, and it's like, man, this, it's air freighted, so it's not going to be produced towards the end of those 21 days. And anyway,
It sounds like
it was interesting.
you've earned your stripes with this
Oh,
business, and
it was
then
brutal.
so you create this awesome business,
Yeah.
you get this awesome idea to help dentists make their lives easier, make them save time, save money. You made it legitimate. You made it safe way for people to go through a marketplace, which means that it's you have multiple sellers and multiple distributors that people can go to, get the
Mhm.
best price. So you did all that. Then COVID hits, and you get trial by fire doing all this for hospitals
Yeah.
under the stress of COVID. So
That's
kudos to you, and I applaud
Thank
you
you.
for the wherewithal to deal with all this and keep going strong. So right now, here we are. You have Supply Clinic. You're
Yeah.
available to everyone. I
So
know many dentists who are utilizing you. I know Paul Goodman has a relationship with you with his offices. So talk to me just about a little bit about what you've been doing.
yeah.
And the real exciting thing is what you started doing for the holidays, which I think a lot of people are going to be excited about. So tell me just about, Supply Clinic signing up, and tell me about this cool raffle too.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. I'll get to the raffle in just a second. I'll sort of phase the PPE discussion forward to where we are here and now, and what we're doing to help out. We've formed a lot of relationships over the years, with sellers in the dental space, and so our team is constantly working to get items of PPE up and running, and the hot topic items right now are gloves, nitrile gloves, and disinfectant wipes. And
Hmm.
I know the news was posted over the Nachos group yesterday. There was just a massive outbreak of COVID in one of the largest glove factories in Malaysia. That's one of the biggest producers of these gloves globally. So
Yeah.
I'm anticipating continued difficulty with that particular SKU. But my team the team here is working tirelessly to constantly update, the different SKUs that are available, and we're now seeing stresses where our sellers are all of a sudden saying there are quantity limits, and you can only, there's only one case of disinfectant wipes per customer per week, that sort of thing. And so this was a massive stress test for e-commerce,
Right.
because never before the pandemic would we ever limit the amount that we wanted someone to buy on the site, right?
Right.
Uh, so we're working tirelessly to get those SKUs up and made available. And there are, there are hiccups that we'll see along the way, and we want everyone to think of us as that value add partner. So when there are those hiccups, like, it is our team that's gonna go communicate with the seller, figure out what's going on, how we can figure it out, swap the order if something went on back order that day, which is now unfortunately happening, on occasion, given crazy volatility. But the team here basically steps up and and will figure out how to best help dental offices in need. So, I mean,
Excellent.
massive kudos to the team here that I know is working pretty tirelessly. So,
Excellent. Excellent.
um, that's a note on PPE. I'd love for everyone to be able to come for the PPE and then realize that they should be saving on everything else and stay for everything else, and allow us to help you and guide you through that process. The team here is willing to help from the very get-go, and doing a price comparison and cost assessment, seeing where we can save. We'll do that on our end, populate a favorites page, just get offices up and running to take the work off of the plate of anybody in the practice. And we're doing a few exciting things with you guys here at the
Oh yeah.
Nachos team. So now we can kind of shift into that. We've got a huge raffle going for one lucky member of the Dental Nachos community, and that is to win $10,000 worth of supplies.
That's
For
10,000 worth, right? Just make sure we're hearing correctly, right?
10K,
10,000. Awesome.
10,000. Yes, spelled out correctly.
Awesome.
Um,
Natalie from the Nacho team is going to be putting some things in the comments, talking about how you can take advantage of that. But go ahead, Scott. Tell us a little more. $10,000
yeah,
raffle
absolutely.
of supplies.
Of supplies to be used in 2021. We're going to do the raffle at the end of the year. I think date to be determined, but we were potentially targeting New Year's Eve. So we'll see. We can
Okay.
confirm all that. So ways to enter the raffle.
Excellent.
There are a number of different ways to enter the raffle. The first is our landing page, supplyclinic.com/dentalnachos. Is a landing page where literally all you have to do is put in your name and your email, and that enters you for one ticket into the raffle. That's
Easy.
as dumbed down as possible. It's super, super simple. That's one way that'll get you one ticket. If you want to increase your chances to win, to get more tickets to win this $10,000 prize, there are a couple other ways to do so. The first way is to use the coupon code Nachos Raffle. That's NACHOSRAFFLE, one word, at checkout on an order on Supply Clinic. The coupon is valued at $20, so we're literally paying people to get a second ticket. You just have to
Right.
use it at checkout, and that'll get anybody a ticket using that coupon at checkout. And then, if you really want to go the extra mile, for 9 extra tickets, anybody can send us a invoice or a purchase order from any other seller that just shows us that they saved shopping on Supply Clinic from that order that they made. They'll get 9 extra tickets to this
So
raffle.
let me get this straight, Scott. So basically, anybody can just get a ticket by going to the landing page. That is, Natalie's probably putting that in the comments.
Yep.
Going to that link, registering, you get a ticket. Then
Yes.
you can get a second ticket just by using the $20 coupon that you get by using the code Nachos Raffle, right? So
That's
that gives you 2 tickets just by using that coupon. Then if you show proof that you save money using Supply Clinic, so just showing, I guess, a receipt or a purchase order at a higher amount than showing Supply Clinic, you and send that in an email, you now get 9.6. So that's 11 tickets. Okay, that is easy, everybody. You're getting put into a raffle for either doing nothing virtually or just doing something which is saving yourself money. So you save money and you have a chance to win $10,000 of supplies. That is awesome, Scott. We appreciate that. You know, our nachos people in the nachos community love a deal. This is better than a deal, you know. So I encourage everybody to take advantage of this raffle. It's fun. You'll save some money on supplies. Anything else that they should know, Scott?
Yeah, we do have one other Dental Nachos specific promotion going on right now.
Oh yeah.
And that is on lidocaine. So I know, you know, not super common. Maybe one or two dentists use lidocaine, but we have a I believe it's a buy 10 get 2 free.
Okay.
I think there's a if we can add the link to that as well. We have a link.
We'll get that link added too. Absolutely.
And that's only for Dental Nachos members. I should actually add that this whole thing, the whole raffle, is only for Nachos members. So if someone happens to stumble across the landing page or see it, and you know, enters or does the things to get in the raffle, but they're not a member of Dental Nachos, they can't win. So we will be verifying that list of the tickets that we throw in, to make sure that each individual is actually a Nachos member. So it's
very good to know. Very good to know.
Yeah. So there is one more step. If you're not a member of Dental Nachos, you
need to join Dental Nachos. So if you have any other friends out there in the dentisting world that are not members of Dental Nachos and they want to take advantage of this offer and the raffle, please have them join the group. It's easy. You already know it's a fun group. We give a lot of great advice. We give, you know, a great value when it comes to resources, CE. We already know you're a fan of the group that if you're watching this. So please, the more the merrier. And you'll help some other people really decrease stress and increase happiness during this holiday season with the ultimate shopping, which is shopping for the supplies that you have to shop for anyway. But you're getting a great offer from Supply Clinic. And Scott Drucker and his team, like I said, they've been a great resource to this group. I really want to thank you, Scott, for joining and explaining all this to us. Continue to do what you do, assisting and being a resource in this group and being a contributor to the Dental Nachos community. But once again, everybody, please take advantage of this great offer. There's no way you can regret. There's nothing to lose. It's a nacho brainer. And you may even win $10,000 of supplies. Any parting words, Scott, before we go?
I really think that's it, Brandon. I think we covered it, and you know, reach out to us or the team if we can be of any help. My email is scott@supplyclinic.com, SCOTT at supplyclinic. We can also be reached at team@supplyclinic.com. It's super easy to get a hold of us. However we can best help. We want to be that you know, that value add member of your team and help where we can. So Brandon, I really appreciate you hosting me here today, and wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Thanks so much, Scott. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Talk to you guys again soon.